Welcome to the ancient temple of Lapis Lazuli. This is going to be a deep dive analysis, a part 3 of the addictions read, okay? So if you haven't seen that read, you may want to go back and check it out because the cards were revealed there, and I'm just expounding on what was revealed. And some deeper things that also were revealed. Okay, so today is on the Jupiter frequency, Thursday, January the 2nd, 2025. Okay, this is a Queen of Spades day, which is a Queen of Wands and Tarot. Okay, so let's dive in. First card at the bottom of the African Goddess Rising Oracle was Ma'at, giving and receiving, number 10, the sacral chakra. Okay? Ma'at, giving and receiving energy, is when there has been an injustice of some kind. Okay? Something needs to be made fair, order and balance needs to be restored in a matter. The number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune in Tarot. So something happening in divine timing, karma is at play, and there could have been a creative plot to siphon some money, to revert money. 10 reducing down to the number 1, Magician. This was done by manipulation of some kind. The justice system could have been involved. Judges, police, attorneys, maybe even medical practitioners, okay, but not limited to. With the sacral chakra, this is using creativity by manipulation, just simply creating something, forging something, forcing something, okay? Not saying that this, what they created was, you can create anything, whether you're doing it on a low vibration or high vibration. Okay, so they just creating mean they just done something. They did something. Okay, you can create a document. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but so moving on. Maui Lisa, Cosmic Power, number 2, Temple of the Threshold Guardians, and Ma'at. This team of celestial energy is bringing in this justice. As above, so below. Okay, as within, so without. It is now manifesting in the physical. It's a divine partnership by divine authority here. This energy could also be an intimate mate in male that is receiving what is due to them because of their relentless efforts to cause harm to another and take. This could also be a married couple, okay? With the two dealing with partnerships, could be dealing with contracts. I'm picking up the 2 of the cups, with Maui Lisa merging together. So maybe some type of marriage union. So this could have been also a married couple that took part in some type of injustice. This could also be a representation of a mother and a father. Okay, but however, let's continue. Let's see. Okay, let's keep diving. So Ma'at in harvest. This could be the harvest that was stolen. This was part of the injustice. Harvest is a bold Nimba. She's in the temple of the high priestess. Okay, number 43, which is a 7, a number of spirituality, divinity, divine protection, highly honored in the celestial realm. So this high priestess that this was done to, that is walking in her divinity. Okay, this was a high priestess that this was done to. Okay. Most likely, she overcame a tumultuous of life experiences and broke generational curses in her bloodline. With Mawu Lisa, there could have been like I said, a mother and a father figure involved. Okay, with causing childhood traumas and um, setting obstacles in her way, settling. That's it, settling. Okay. However, in setting obstacles in her way to block her from her divinity. And then Marie Laveau, good juju, the number 7, temple of the ancestors, and my aunt surface. Okay, during shuffling. Marie Laveau's declaration is all I do is win. So this is about Marie Laveau is about ancestral inheritance. So yes, an inheritance was stolen. But why is this female stripper and prostitute that's a toxic Queen of Wands energy with an X surfacing? We are diving, so stay tuned. Now, Saucha surfaced at the bottom and then came out, being the number 3, goddess of grounding. Saucha is Sarah Bartman, Hottentot Venus, that was prostituted and eventually died from sexually transmitted diseases. She traveled to another country to expand opportunities and was sexualized, made to become a sex worker, okay? Or tricked into becoming a sex worker. I guess same thing, okay? So she didn't know her self-worth and had a false sense of values, which got her trapped in that kind of lifestyle in the first place. Now, the number 3 is Jupiter energy, a frequency of expansion, fortune, and creativity. It's also the Empress in Tarot. The little bit of self esteem she may have had in her worthiness was taken. Her creativity, her sexual expression was misused and overly sexualized. She gave up her power and her magic. Okay. And with the temple of she being in the temple of ancestors, um, maybe this was something that was generational, in this type of lifestyle. Okay. So Tanet, goddess of pleasure, number 11, the sacral chakra. This is giving me nightlife. This is giving me exotic dancing energy. Okay. This is what I'm picking up here with this read. So with the 11 to net plus the 3, that equals a 14, which equals a 5. Okay. With 11 being justice, Ba'at energy and Taro, Saucha being the temple of ancestors, 14 temperance and Taro being angelic presence, 5 the Hierophant ancestral presence, and 5 and now see this Hierophant presence could also be, wow, a plethora of ancestral, celestial, primordial presence I'm getting from different timelines, dimensions, and realms. Okay. And 5 in the African rising oracle is Nihanda. She's also in the temple of ancestors. This female in X is getting their asses kicked by this high priestess angelic and ancestral protection. Wow. Okay. So this Queen of Wands, she could be a Leo, or Leo could be highly aspected in her natal chart. She's an exotic dancer. It may be a prostitute as an extra curriculum activity to expand her money, or she changed from being an exotic dancer to now prostituting herself or being prostituted and frequently traveling or relocated to a more productive and conducive state or country to, her line of work. So the Five of Spades deals with changes in your living location, a change of job, okay, a long trip. The Sag energy, because the Five of Spades is Sagittarian um, vibration frequency. So, and today is Jupiter, okay, which rules Sagittarius um, and Pisces. Um, the Sag energy could be, she could be a Pisces, she could be a Sag. Um, with the Sag energy, however, this could be a lot of traveling to work, for work, or a lot of sex clients traveling to her with the Three of Wands that surfaced, okay? I want to tap into the state that she relocated to. So I have a deck here that has all 50 states and a few countries in here. I'm going to ask, what state did this Queen of Wands relocate to? Mm, let's see. What state did this Queen of Wands relocate to? What state? What country did this Queen of Wands relocate to? I got Arizona. Nevada is at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Wow. So, wow. We know what? Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada? We know that they are really known. They're hot. That's a hot spot for us. Wow. Damn. Uh, that's a hot spot for exotic dancers and prostitution. Okay. So maybe she's traveling between the two. Maybe she lives in Arizona and she travels to Nevada, Las Vegas often, or just travel between the two, but she lives in one place or the other. Okay. Um, wow. So that's what came up. Arizona and then Nevada was at the bottom of the deck. So there it is. All right, I shall. So the Queen of Spades, okay, because this is a Queen of Spades day. So this is in the Mercury period on this day today. Okay, this Queen of Spades. So Mercury, we're dealing with the number 5 frequency. Mercury is the number 5, which is changes. Mercury energy is also communication, commerce, transportation, healing. The Queen of Spades resembles hard work and thoughts into business, work, or some kind of mental pursuit. Spades energy is mental. So the spades is the most powerful suit in the playing cards. Okay, when we talk about cardomancy. Okay, because it deals with death and transformation. Pluto and Scorpio energy is what this is. So she could be a Scorpio, okay, or it could be highly aspected in her natal. And like I said, also, Sagittarius, because there is a lot of Sagittarius energy. Or this could just be the energy because all of the traveling, okay. Um, so with the spades, the Queen of Spades, your thoughts manifest your life, okay. The way you think determines how things show up in your life. Okay, that is one's responsibility or not, whether or not is known. And then dealing with the wands in Tarot, Wands, is action, pursuing passions and ambitions. Okay, so the Queen of Wands in this energy, she lives a vain lifestyle. Okay, lacks self-respect. Her sacral and root chakra for sure is in balance. She has a false sense of self-worth and values. This is jealous, catty, manipulative, spiteful, deceitful, angry energy with low self-esteem. Although she may put up a facade as if she is confidence, but really it's a lack of confidence. Okay. There is a burnout energy here. In other words, used up. I'm picking up hormonal imbalances, maybe reproductive problems. Um, there are quite a few things that can create hormonal imbalances for us as women. So this kind of lifestyle will surely create imbalances, emotional and mental imbalances as well. The exchange of DNA takes place, which can store trauma, you know, and other things. As women, a man enters and penetrates us, leaving an imprint of his and other sexual encounters and ancestral essence and traumas, okay? So this is also an open portal for or that malefic spirit attachments can happen. Okay, so now the Five of Spades, which is the Five of Wands and Tarot, and then the Two of Hearts at the bottom of the deck, which is the Two of Cups and Tarot. It seems that this Two of Hearts energy, Two of Cups energy, is an ex of this High Priestess that is in a union. Okay, no matter how toxic it is, that's their union, that's their union, so that's them. With this sex worker, this Two of Cups, Two of Hearts could also be relatives and other partnerships. With all of these partnerships, folks coming together with a mental pursuit, one goal, one target, this High Priestess, to come together to create conflict, strife, to change and transport some vile communication about this High Priestess. I am feeling slander and libel with all of the Mercury and the Five energy and the Wands. With the Five of Wands, I am feeling jealousy, competition, a copycat or copycats, plural. I am also feeling destiny swapping with the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician. It was being said by this ex and relatives that this High Priestess was a sex worker. Okay, this was a paid endeavor. See, folks with that lack self-esteem and self-love and that are unhealed have this prolonged enmity in their hearts and a false sense of values, are easy to bribe with material things. Okay, so who was given the payouts? Well, we'll get there. So with all of the five in the Mercury energy, like I said, with the spades being mental wands, the Temperance card in the shadows with the 14, the moon that surfaced, the Hierophant in the shadows with the number 5, the Mercury, okay, which rules the 5, also dealing with healing and so on. There could be medical staff involved as well with this smear campaign and created medical records of some kind of illness or mental illness, okay? The Hierophant energy could be the entities, the religious groups, various government entities involved. The Hierophant could also be the many fraudulent contracts involved, and maybe there was a high priest, a masculine, okay, that was also hired to do some type of continuous spell work on this High Priestess. I am feeling death spells, beauty spells, spells to make her sick, but not limited to that. Okay. Um, the green block stop and red 6 Uno card, this ex family partnership, along with others. The green is hearts, cups energy. The 6 is the lover's card, dealing with close connections and or relationships. This is everyone that joined this connection to partake in this defamation. Lovers is Gemini, air, Mercury, communication, writing, okay? They're being stopped and blocked. There is a tower here for this regime. They were relentless with their evil pursuits against this high priestess. So now what they conjured up will revert back to them relentlessly. Remember, the Queen of Spades tells us that your thoughts manifest in your life. The way you think determines how things show up in your life, okay? You are responsible for your actions. That oracle card surfaces well. The ancestors are bringing this tower in from the head to the tail, with the six being cosmic mother energy, with Sarala Kali. She's the highest divine lineage. The temple of ancestors, root chakra, Aries Mars tower, all the way to the root of this madness. See, this card was inverted. This number six card. Okay, the red number six as a nine, which is chrome mother segment energy endings. The sixes are also a karmic influence as well. So these relatives could have said that this high priestess stopped speaking to them because of her pursuit in prostitution and her addictions, and saying that she had mental illnesses and they don't know where she is. All kinds of buffoonery. Okay, carrying on, the Three of Pentacles is these folks working together, maybe copying the image of this high priestess. This could be libel. This is also this ex and this prostitute working together in this prostitution and exotic dancing sector. I guess he's supposed to be the pimp. Who knows? She could be the main chick over the workers and maybe recruiting them as well. See, this is that King of Diamonds with Wolves energy, which is a reverse King of Diamonds, King of Pentacles and Tarot. Okay, the Judgment card. A lot is on this card here. This is severe karma for all involved. Another divine influence, as above, so below. Archangel Gabriel, the messenger. Okay, the alarm has been sounded, and all has been seen. Archangel Gabriel rules moon energy. What was hidden and done in the dark is known. Okay, judgment is Pluto Scorpio energy, which is energy of sex, scandals, secrets, transformation, evolution. Judgment is the number 20, Aunt Nancy, betrayals, an African goddess oracle. Aunt Nancy is a spider with a large web spun around her, with smaller spiders hanging. This is also divine protection. These betrayals are seen, and they are now, these people, entangled in their own web of betrayals that the divine spun for them to entrap them. And surely they did. The 20 equaling a 2, which is the high priestess. This is authority in the physical. Who knows the truth? This Knight of Swords is the vicious attacks towards this high priestess. And this is could be slander in energy as well. Okay. The Queen of Hearts cups, um, in its negative aspect, could represent sexual pleasure, being overly stimulated sexually. Okay. The Queen of Cups can also represent a mother. With the Judgment, the Queen of Cups, Tower, Three of Wands, Magician, Knight of Swords. This judgment that the High Priest, investigative energy, is bringing in with the Three of Wands, something coming in, will cause this tower to this sex scandal, to this corruption, to this defamation, okay, to this smear campaigning. They could be traveling, or this could just be communication. It may have been said that this high priestess was on the World Wide Web, dark web, maybe even with the moon. The world could also be the continuous slander. The world is also attempts to keep this high priestess in a repeated loop of attacks, conflicts, and toxic bonds, so she wouldn't close out the cycle. This is this family, X is fleeing thing, corporate entities, angry that this cycle is officially over. And it ain't nothing that they can do but boil with anger until they make themselves sick or conjure up in some type of catastrophic event that they can't come back from. Six of Wands and Ace of Cups. Now, it was said that this high priestess was giving out her jewels to many and was public with sex acts. With the moon 18, and that's reducing to a 9, the hermit, and the strength in the star card, it has been discovered that public servants in leadership positions were involved. And surprise, surprise, they paid these partners to get involved with the Six of Pentacles card. This King of Cups is the ex of this high priestess. They could have children together. This ex could be a Virgo with the Knight of Pentacles surfacing. I feel this King of Cups and this Knight of Pentacles is the representation of a child being birthed from this relationship with the high priestess, symbolizing the biological process that occurs when a man ejaculates into a woman. With the King of Pentacles, this was a relationship that took place for years, and this King of Cups may have desired a marriage union with this high priestess. Now, there is a lot of ancestor, angelic, and deity, present here in this. Okay, this high priestess answered the call to her higher self and dedicated herself to a higher divine purpose, made a boss decision, being of supreme status, to pour into herself 10 with self-love, connecting with her divine counsel, going into solstice and spiritual warrior state, healing childhood traumas, breaking generational curses, cutting the karmic cords. The declutter card came out from everything and everybody with malice intentions, severing the blood contracts. The blood contract card came out, breaking the blinding chaos chaos spells and the witchcraft. All these cards surface to liberate with liberation card surfacing. Liberate herself, lineage, and ancestors. This high priestess set new intentions of higher values and morals. With the new moon card, liberation is Queen Mother Nanny from Jamaica, the Maroons. In the illustration of the oracle card, the ancestor surrounds her inconspicuously. She was an Ashanti healer, spiritual leader, military strategist, and revolutionary. Okay, these were all karmic ties and not in alignment with this high priestess divine purpose. Okay, it ain't the divine. If it ain't divine, it ain't mine card surface. So the divine was positioning this high priestess for good partnerships. The good partnerships card surface. This day today is on a number 2. We also say 2 of Hearts. Okay. We also saw, I said say, we also saw the 2 of Hearts. We also saw Lisa, Cosmic Power, which is a 2, and Ma'at is all over this, which is balanced, so as the number 2. This sadistic narcissist folks that were called family, quote family, may have been blood relatives, maybe, but surely from their deeds were not family to this high priestess. Family do not steal, kill, harm, abuse, or defame one another. Family is not unrequited love or love based on conditions. And love is not trauma bonding and love bombing. So all of these experiences and karmic connections were not meant to continue once this high priestess evolved into her divinity. They were only for the purpose to catapult her on her divine path. So give thanks to these sadistic narcissists. Once their purpose was done and they decided to follow this high priestess, be unhinged and relentless in their attempts to harm, is why the severe tower is here. They failed to heed to the many warnings to stop, reflecting back to the green stop block and the red 6 Uno card. So see, this also was the high priest ancestors warning them, or else they would see destruction. They missed or ignored the memos. Maybe they thought their physical presence was more powerful than a spiritual presence. This high priestess brought on a lot of betrayal and enemies in the spirit that surfaced in this flesh through intimate relationships, relatives, folks in corporate leadership positions. See, the world is also a representation of these attacks taking place in other past lives. This is why this ex and his fleeing thing, the envious and jealous copycat, the prostitute, relatives, and others, has so much enmity. The enmity card surface. So they were paid to infiltrate the infiltrate card surface to cause harm to this high priestess, and with the goal to make her repeat karmic cycles, steal her destiny, and prevent her from evolving into her divine purpose. This high priestess may have familial connections to the Maroons of Jamaica also. It was shown to me some time ago through the cards that Jamaica at you know um, at some time was a state, and this state was revealed to me, which I prefer to keep to myself. Okay. However, back to these sadistic narcissists. Now, the chief executive officer oracle card surfaced, followed by alcoholic. Maybe this was a former employer um, spoke, about this high priestess that she was you know, alcoholic, destructive, and cause chaos in the workplace, and or this is a CEO that is an alcoholic. Okay, but it's a sad day in the neighborhood for these people because the truth is out and order and harmony is being restored with the truth in my op cards. Okay, as above, so below. Okay, this is someone in the physical who saw this truth and bringing justice with the conscientious mind, with the conscientious card coming out. With the wolves card, this conscientious person discovered the wolves in sheep clothing, these relatives that stole this inheritance and or land with the king of pentacles. The king of pentacles can be CEO energy, represent corporations of any kind, corporations in the finance sector, government that deals with land, property, uh, like like the counties, municipalities. Another perspective of this wolves and king of diamonds, this king of diamonds in reverse, okay, with the wolves and king of diamonds together. So this is scarcity mindset. This is false sense of values. This is greedy and materialistic. Money is their vice. This is weakness. This is abusive energy, perversity energy, grandiose behavior. This is dysfunctional way of thinking. This is being out of touch with their spiritual side, in balance, not in a celestial alignment, lack self worth. Okay, with the X feminine energy, with the lion, power, honor, and snakes, this is corporate energy. These were women and or males with female energies that were head in an official seat of power and supposed to be an honor when they take an oath to those seats, were the head source of the scheme. Stakes are corporate government betrayal. With the being of supreme status, the BOOS, boss, weed, speak truth card, this high priest, being of supreme status, weeded out these snakes by speaking truth, standing on truth, and being truth. Okay, this is perseverance, triumph energy after going through a battle. Nine of Wands, chariot, strength energy. All of this infiltration was due to enmity for this high priestess because she was being used, the law of use, to be an expression of truth and to be true to her individuality, with the throat card surfacing. This was also these perpetrators speaking destruction to this high priestess stability in her finances with the witchcraft and just compensation coming out. This is also communication coming in regarding just compensation from these betrayals, and witchcraft is being done to attempt to block this just compensation. Okay, this is also could be um, um, cursed money that this this prostitute and this ex is making with their you know prostitution and exotic dancing business. Okay, angelic presence with Nelcha L surfaced. So here to intervene here. So Nelcha L protects from liars, evil spells, and bad spirits. Okay, followed by the addictions card. So they lied about this high priestess having addictions. Caveat: beware, and uh, you are responsible for your actions. Card came out. Is letting the sadistic narcissist know that the tower is here for them and this will not be a good tower for them. This is complete destruction. This is Saturn segment odd energy, accountability, choices, karma, lessons, discipline to restore order and balance. This is ancestors and guides of this high priestess with segment record keeper. Okay, or not segment, South Seshat, which is the record keeper. They have been keeping records. Okay, the ancestors and the celestial guides have been keeping records of all accounts and these people's actions and is holding them to the full extent of the law in spirit and in flesh. There are also physical records that has been discovered and retrieved with Seshat card being the number 9, the Hermit card, investigator energy, the end. Okay. Moving forward with optimistic card, maybe the main investigator is a masculine who stayed the course and was optimistic about this. This card could be the ex that is being optimistic about having a union with or a reunion, I should say, with this high priestess. Well, use your six senses, okay? We got a high priestess and a pimp, okay? He was probably meant to be a high priest as well with the high fire energy, and I kept saying high priest but could not detach from his demons. Okay, he fell from grace. Okay, so the copycat that is whack card surface. This is that toxic queen of wands that's prostituting, and it's the fleeing thing of this ex. This is also could also be the relatives. Maybe this ex, he could be an undercover brother. Okay, now. Okay, or maybe he always had those tendencies. Don't know. Okay, and these other people, hell, this could be many copycats. Okay, it's just sick. So this was destined to be exposed, all in divine timing. With the divine time is on your sidecar surfacing. Anubis is Egyptian god of death card surface. Okay, is causing endings to this karmic cycle and or endings literally. And the yes card confirmed. Okay, because this is just pathetic and just sadistic. Okay? So that's the deep dive. Give thanks.